All right, what's going on, y'all? All right, video one, February 19th, 2021. East Tennessee, Knoxville to be exact. It's cold, but the bass don't leave. Common misconception, the bass, well, I mean, there's so many misconceptions. The bass hibernate, they don't do that. They pack a bag and go to Florida. I don't think they do that. That would be really cute. A little bass with a briefcase. I would pay good money to see that. These fish are still here. Right now, the water temperature is in the mid 40s, I believe, which is very important. It's not necessarily the actual date of the month. These fish don't check calendars. These fish test temperatures. If the weather's starting to get warmer, they start to move up in a certain situation. And right now, we're still pre-spawn, I would say. They're not necessarily, they might be a little bit further out. Actually, let me break that down. I'm sorry. In the winter, fish go low. They go low. There's more oxygen down there. It's easier to feed. A lot of the stuff they're going to be eating are going to be moving lethargic, slow on the bottom. So they eat. They're cold-blooded. They eat year-round. Kind of have to survive. Look at me. I don't miss much. These bass are fat right now. They're beautiful. They're not wasting any energy. This is my favorite time of year to catch bass. And not as much traffic. You don't get the wake boats out there. You don't get the big party barges. We got a ton of them out here on my lake in Knoxville. These massive boats that'll just rock your world. I wanted to start doing something a little bit different. I was a bass boat guy, thanks to a tree that smashed and totaled my boat. I'm now having to reconsider what I want to do, and it wasn't as interesting. I mean, I love the bass boat. You can get anywhere you want to do, but it just wasn't as. There was just something about it that I wasn't really enjoying anymore. I wanted to try to incorporate something a little bit outdoorsy, something I can get into something else. Tennessee's doing a thing where they're clearing out their waterway from Knoxville all the way to Paducah, Kentucky. You can do like 500 some miles on some rivers. I watched a video on here on YouTube not that long ago of a guy doing a 4-day trip on just west of San Antonio, I think Devil's River. Falls, something. I don't know. One of them words, but devil was the key word that caught me. And you get to hit these waterways in something that you can't get in a bass boat, and that's in a kayak. Fishing kayaks. I really am excited. I'm intrigued. I've been working on mine for about a month, just off and on when the kids let me. And I'm really excited to see what we could do. I'm in a bona fide SS 127, a lot cheaper than my bass boat. It's got the ability to stand up. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3", 260, and I should be able to stand up in this thing comfortably. And thanks to Amazon's delay in shipping with the snowstorms and all that, I won't have as stunning a camera to film my ultimate demise this weekend when I get in the water on the first trip. But I'll have something, and if I fall, I'll put it out there. That's just I'm a man of the people. I want to give y'all what you want. All right, now temperatures in the morning. This is Friday night. What I want to do on these videos, I want to break down a certain area, a certain region, the temperatures, see how you fish that region. I want to break down what these fish are looking for, because they constantly change. I mean, what works one day, you could be a little bit too small, a little bit too big. Cloud cover comes over, water changes color, the color of your bait matters. Everything. These fish are finicky. One of the most, there's so many different techniques that you could learn for bass fishing. There's so many different things. They'll tell you to do this. They'll tell you to do this. If you don't do this, you're an idiot. If you don't do this, you're dumb. What are you doing? No. All you need to really pay attention to, and you don't even need a good fish finder. I mean, honestly, you don't. You're going to see when I get out there. I don't have electronics on this kayak yet. Water temperature, which you can look at. There's maps, Fish Monster or something like that. I was Googling some stuff earlier. There's people that will actually put this stuff out, and they'll tell you what temperature your lake is. You should understand where those fish want to be. You learn different techniques. You learn what you're comfortable with. My favorite thing to throw, and like what really got me into this, because number one, it's an easy knot tie. You don't have to worry about hooks and setting all this stuff like until you get comfortable learning the difference of a Palomar knot, drop shot knots, stuff like that. You don't have to think too much into it. I love a jig. I love a jig. You could do so much stuff with this. Find what you want to fish and make it work to that season. Which, I mean, it doesn't have to be that expensive. Every trip to Bass Pro or Academy, wherever you're going, it doesn't have to be a $100 trip. You find what fits you for that technique, and then you just fish the hell out of it and you enjoy yourself. Don't worry about what other people do. Find what you enjoy and find what the fish enjoy, and you'll make it work. Like one thing I like in the winter. This is a video specifically focusing on winter techniques, and I'm gonna rip the brand off because they don't pay me. Spinnerbait, fantastic for any windy condition. Now, you can get into the weeds really, and actually that was a terrible joke. You can get into the weeds on the different types of your actual reflective material on this. You could do the different types of willows and all that. Dude, don't worry about that. All right, this right here does so many different things. One thing that I love doing, and we're only talking about winter, when it gets a little warmer, when I'm not as pale and pasty as I am right now, we'll talk about different techniques. One of my favorite things in the winter is to fish this slow. Always a constant amount of pressure on it. So the weight's on the bottom, hits the bottom, you start reeling slow, you start feeling it. This hook, if you always keep a certain amount of pressure on it and just fish it slow, this will stay weedless. This hook will not catch anything. And these fish right now in the winter, they're almost on their migratory paths to where they start their pre-spawn, to where they start building their beds and all that, but they're not there yet. So what you want to do, you want to cast into deeper areas, maybe, well, not deep, don't go crazy. We're in kayaks right now. I'm talking to my kayak guys right now. Y'all bass boats, y'all go on down the road, do your thing. I'm talking to the kayak people right now. 12, 15 foot of water. Put this stuff down on the ground, just let it ride. Just let it ride. Mouths of openings, ledges, drop-offs, rock structures, stuff like that. I'm going to do something here in a little bit. We're going to pull a map up, and I want you all to do the same when you start to plan out your trips. Run this slow, constant amount of pressure. Don't jerk, don't do nothing. Just run it slow. Just drag it across that bottom. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. The bites are a little bit less plentiful in the winter. There's the same amount of fish in that lake, but they're not as active as they are. Do the same thing with that jig I showed you, but you're a little bit more active on this. You want a jig that's got like a football head, one that's going to come down and it's going to kind of wave up at you. My baby right here. I use these year round. This is my favorite color too. It's my favorite color. You could throw any of these baits you want as long as it's white. Just something about it. It just contrasts everything. We're fishing on the bottom, so I'm not worried about the fish looking up at it. I'm not worried about that. Now, I'm fishing up. I like dark colors. You can get yourself all hyped up. People talking about, well, you need a pumpkin chartreuse. You need this. You need that watermelon. You got that yellowtail on it. Dude, me personally, I'm not the best, not the worst. Extreme white, extreme black. Now, when we get in the summer, it can get pretty finicky, but they're very selective. Now, that's one thing. You're in overfished waters on a boat doing stuff like that. In a kayak, a lot of times, you get in spots these boys can't get to. I was talking to somebody at work today about a spot to where they fished. They were able to plane out in 6 inches of water to get to this other spot in Gunnersville. And it worked on the training session of the tournament. When it came tournament time, they dropped that water level down 3 inches. So they had 3 inches. They couldn't even hit their spot. Kayak, I'm in there like swimwear, brother. I ain't worried about it. I'll take this. Now, this is a bitsy bug. This is a 3/8. I probably should be throwing 1/2 ounce right now, but I'm on a budget, and I don't care what you think. I'm joking. I do care. I love you. I might bite off about maybe 2 or 3 pot spots on this. Give it a nice little, just a short, shallow presentation. I want that thing to hit it, and I want it to wave. I want it to wave. There's a quote from a guy that I will reference a lot in these videos by the name of Bill Dance. My guy, Bill. Legend. Not a Tennessee fan, by the way. Somebody gave him a hat. He needed a hat. He was getting ready to leave off, and he's like, I'm going to get burnt. I need a hat. I got this Tennessee hat. Wore it. Won the tournament. Lucky hat. Never took it off. Little thing for you. Blades. Just a little blade bait. Throw spoons. You could throw anything. Winter is the ugly time of year. Oh, Bill Dance. Sorry, I get off topic all the time. You just smack me when you see me in public. Bill Dance had a saying, if you think you're fishing too slow, fish slower. And that definitely holds true in the winter. Everything on the bottom of that lake right now, it's moving slow. If you have something moving fast, that don't look right. That don't belong. It's not a thing. Fish it slow, mind your weeds. Blade bait like this ties up in the front. When you pull it and get that little action, keep it going, it's going to look like it's feeding. That nose is going to be down. It's going to be waggling that little ass in the air right there. And they're going to get active on it. I will do colors on these. Shad, craw. If you've got to make a decision, watermelon, craw, or shad. Depending on your lake system. This is a TVA lake, green water, man-made lake. Blades will go. You can throw spoons. You could throw whatever. I'm going to be primarily on largemouths and smallmouths throughout these video series. Something else, little paddle tail. Something with some motion. They make screw-in, I can't even think of the things. They make screw-in little flashy deals on them. I can't believe I can't think of that word. That is going to bug me. I might delete this whole video because I can't remember what the actual top of a spinnerbait is. Little paddle tail. Something with a little bit of action in there. Always good. Fish slow. Only one of these eyes has color. Okay, well, they're not going to be looking at it from both sides. So, yeah. Also, right now, deep diving jerk baits. This is a balsa. This is the, which Rapala is this? The Deep Runner SR9 Shad Wrap. You can go hollow. I like having balsa. There's just something about a good balsa wood bait. I don't know, just something about it. This one will actually, this one will suspend. You can actually count on this one. So if you have your electronics and you're looking at them and you could see where the bass are, you know, count what time you need, how much drop you've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start pulling it back slow, and then it's going to hang out right at that level, and that's what you want. Not running any electronics, but what I am going to do now is do a little bit more surveillance on the areas that I actually plan on fishing. So right here, we've got the spot that I plan on fishing. Let me pull that up for you lovely people. All right. All right. One of the things you could do, you surveil the area, basically. You find out where you're going to park, where you're going to get your kayak out, and if you've got a good launch. There are good launches in Knoxville, and I won't break that down. You have Google as well. You're on YouTube right now currently, so you can do that. Good place to park. Looking like some good launch areas. This is a pier built for fishing out here right off North Shore. I am going to launch wherever I can get in, and I'm going to go under this bridge. 2017 or 2018, I believe it was, you'll see in the Bassmaster Classic, you'll see Mike Iaconelli out here in early spring. I believe it was early spring. I forget when the Classic goes. But he was right here in this mouth, and I mean, he was just smashing them right here. You can actually zoom in, thank you Google Maps, and you could see structure. You could see little things. There's little rock slots out through here. There's foliage out through here. Oh, okay, this is one thing out here. I wasn't prepared to run this the way Iaconelli ran it. When Iaconelli fished this, these smart guys, these studs, these bass fishing millionaires out here, when he fished this area, the actual growth on the bottom, this was probably maybe 12 foot of water at max height. The growth was right at 4 foot. So 12 foot of water minus 4 gives you 8. He ran like a DT8 or a DT6, dives to 8, dives to 6. He ran something that just kind of fluttered right over the top of that foliage. He had enough stuff in the boat. I'm in a kayak. We are very limited on our storage. I have one Yak Attack black box that I can fill up. I can prepare myself the night before for what I want to do, where I want to go. You're not going to prepare yourself for what the grass is going to do unless you know the area. You know, and if you're like me, you work 50, 60 hours a week. You don't have time for all that. You get in when you can. I got 2 kids, man. You know, you get in when you can. So I'm going to come out here. I like this. It's a protected little area. So when I come out here and I redo this video in the summer, play in different conditions, different types of baits, more crankbaits. I love crankbaits, man. Spro, please call me. I will, yeah. Just give me a discount, man. I'll wear your stuff. Just give me a discount. $22 a bait adds up. I think I'm going to fish this area right here. I'm going to fish this mouth right here. A lot of these things that you see are dug in. I don't have actual, and you can get them. There's apps. I think FishBrain is a good one. It's a little convoluted. There's way too much data on FishBrain if you live near a fished up lake. Remove all the catches. You don't want to see all that. You don't want to see people's garbage fish they're getting. And then just look at some of the different areas if you don't have the electronics. And if you do, more power on you. Everybody should have it. Depths are the most important thing. Like if you're learning, if you don't understand all the blips and stuff on your fish finder, don't worry about it. Just learn your seasons. Learn your temperatures. Learn what the fish want to do. Learn when they eat. It's going to be when I should be out here fishing. Sorry. It's going to be in Corona. No. It's going to be in the 20s when I'm wanting to fish this tomorrow, so I probably won't be out there. I might wait till about maybe 10 or 11 if I get out tomorrow to fish this. But I'm going to fish these mouths. I'm going to fish these deep areas and these areas where they might start coming up a little bit. Water level is going to be low. I mean, this film, I mean, you see how green everything is right now. You know, water levels are going to be low, so I'll be able to see a lot more of the bottom, which also gives you experience. Document stuff. Get you a book, get you a notepad, whatever you do, however you do it, take pictures, turn geotags on your phone, mark locations. If you've got GPS that you use for fishing, mark it. When you catch a fish, mark it. Come back, do it later, learn the lake. This needs to be more accessible. Bass fishing, there's always this disconnect. There's the people who fish from the bank, and they look at the boats, and they're like, I can catch more if I'm in a boat. There's the people in the boat that have probably overextended themselves. Some people, not everybody. Some of y'all are smart. A lot of y'all are smart. Most of y'all are smart. You're smarter than me. Let's say that. They're looking at the people on the lake and be like, man, this dude's fishing for a lot less than me. Everybody thinks the other person has it better. Find an in-between and make it accessible. The bank fisherman doesn't think that the boat is accessible. And both sides are assholes sometimes. Let's just be honest. Kayak people, if you get out of the way, kayak people, all right, I'm not going to be on my kayak in main channel on July 4th weekend. I'm going to die. I'm a big boy. I don't swim that good. You know? I ain't doing that. I'm going to find my little areas and I'm going to get in where I fit in, man. This world is big enough for enough people. And I think if we get more people on kayaks, I mean, I haven't really looked into it that much, but there's kayak fishing leagues. There's digital versions of it. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. But I'm going to come down here. I'm going to fish this mouth. I'm going to fish over here if I see any deep areas. I might run this down. And depending on how froggy I get, I might run all the way up down here and fish this end out through here. But if you're kayak fishing, you can you're more accessible to a lot more things. Now, you hit a boat launch, I could probably make it to Florida. I'm no expert, but you could follow these lakes. I mean, all rivers lead to the ocean, right? But I can get in more areas if I plan. Like, what's this right here? Is this a business that's open on the weekends? I don't know. Find out. Find a place to park. What's this right here? Can you get there in a boat? Nope. Probably can't in a kayak. Little things, man. You've got to actually plan your routes out. Find your spots. Don't get complacent on the same spot. We've all got places. Find your areas. Learn your land. Enjoy yourself. All right? And you'll be out here getting a workout in. And I'm really excited to start this. I'm really excited to get into this. And it's not as expensive. It's more accessible to everybody. All right. So be throwing that. My shads. I don't think I have anything else. This is just an intro to kind of show the approach of what I want to do in these areas. I might be throwing a couple more crankbaits. Might throw a couple different more colors. I've got I might throw a darker color if my jigs aren't coming up. I might throw a different tail on it if it doesn't go either. But we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna catch some fish. All right. So this was basically the winter report. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna fish this. It either worked or it didn't. And then we're gonna go from there. All right. Hey, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe. I think. Like it. I think. Comment. Call me an idiot. I don't know how YouTube works. This is video 1 in the fishing series. All right. Thank you for your time. All right. I'll see y'all around.